do apart from playing football? That is the bigger question as he joins us now here in studio. Mustafa, such a pleasure, man. Welcome to Sport This Morning again.
So much. I'm happy to be here. It's a great honor. Yeah.
You know, we have so many things to discuss. You know, we haven't seen you in a very long time, Mustafa.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. When you're not playing football, what else are you doing?
Probably I'm with my friends, chilling.
Yeah.
Some of my friends are boxers, so I have friends that are musicians.
Yes.
So probably, mostly I be with those boxers. We train, yeah.
So there's no other sport you play apart from football actively?
Actively, other sport, not really.
Not really.
Yeah. But I enjoy tennis.
You enjoy tennis?
Yeah. I
Okay.
enjoy tennis.
Brian, just before we jump into the nitty-gritties of this interview, I think it's fair, as a 24-hour sports channel, as responsible journalists, as adults, to first congratulate Mustafa Kizza upon a change in his life.
That's the thing.
He has a partner for life.
That's the thing.
But it's not official yet.
Yes.
So actually, it was the first thing that I did. It was just like a kuchara.
But the journey has started.
Yeah, but
This was Kuchala?
yes,
Mustafa,
it
you have
was
a
a
lot of money
kuchara.
with Mustafa. Mustafa back said, because if Kuchala is like this, what is the wedding going to look like? You know where you grew up from?
Yeah.
Because I know a bit about it, because I also grew up from there. Most of them, niqab, especially for the Muslims,
Yeah.
they will consider this as a wedding, and it's done.
Yeah.
But I can see the way you're trying. You're clearly trying to let us know
Yeah.
the best is yet to come.
Congratulations.
Actually, thank you. Actually, I'm going to do the nikah maybe this coming month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to make it official. Yeah, I think I'll bring your invitation.
Yes, yes.
Again, like we always say, and I can guarantee you,
Yes.
I am attending.
I'm going to be there.
I am so going to be there.
Yeah.
Mustafa. So,
How important, and now we're going to talk a bit of marriage now,
Yes,
a bit of relationship.
no, I have a lot of respect for you, because,
Yeah.
guys, before we came back on air, there's something I didn't know about Andrew. He's an analyst. Don't joke with him. One day, you're going to see him somewhere, not on this channel, breaking down the financial implications of global warming. And then, what the 2026 elections look like.
Wherever money takes me is where I will go.
Please go.
That's what I'm saying. Mustafa, how important is it? Because we talk about footballers and their mental health.
Yeah.
Every day you're expected to perform, man. When you don't perform, we criticize you.
Yeah.
We come on TV and say so, man. How important is it that you have a life partner, man, as a footballer?
Actually, for me, I think it's so important. I think this is my right time to do it because I've always wanted to do it. I've been with my partner for almost now 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so she has been there for me. She's been supporting me, and I think this is the right time to repay her faith. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, we wish you the best. We were waiting for the invites, and I can tell you we shall be attending.
Is this something that probably the coaches of art always blew in your ear, telling you have to settle down? It's quite important. I hear a couple of coaches always saying that to footballers, that if you found someone you love and you get to understand each other, please settle down.
Probably they told me that while I was still in Montreal.
Okay.
But as you know, I was still up and down.
Yeah.
So, and I think
Was that Thierry?
yeah, they told with my agent, they sat me down and told me, you know what, you need to settle down. You need to bring your family. If you have a girlfriend, you need to make it official so that you can settle and concentrate on your career.
Brilliant.
Great stuff. Listen, let's move away from that. Again, we congratulate you. But let me start off with Tuka, Brian, before we jump into this interview. We have been blessed as a country with left backs. You look at just the last decade alone, whether you start from Nestroy, go through to Jaja Waru, you have Isaac Mleme, I think even Habib Kavuma tried to play on that wing for some time. Then Mustafa Kizza comes in. He's still a young player, but it feels like he's been around for so long. Where does he fit in those battles? How much of a headline is Mustafa Kizza on Uganda's left?
I think, unfortunately for Mustafa, probably there's been a bit of stop-start because I can imagine from the time when he started at KCCA, if he had gone and there weren't any stoppages in his career or any changes in terms of moving from one place to the other, he could easily be one of the best we've ever had. Now, and when I say one of the best, he still is because of his attributes. Now, when you look at the left backs we've had over the years, I think top of the list would be Nestor Chizito and Jajawar. And I think Mustafa would agree with me that those are people he must have looked at when he was growing up as a player, especially Jajawar. Because for Nestor, you were still much younger. Probably you saw him towards the end. Now, when you look at all the other left backs that have played, I mean, Joseph Ocha, who's his idol, I mean, Muleme, now talk about Aziz Kayondo now, the hero of recent. What Mustafa has, he's got something that actually none of those have got.
Yeah.
The closest to what he can do is probably Muleme, who had a whole package defensively, but also going forward. Now, Mustafa, and I could bring in even the likes of Nestroy and Walusi in this, one of the best deliverer of the ball.
Right.
And now, if you're a coach, you sit back and say, it's harder to teach a footballer to go forward. And I think one of the things that must have impressed Thierry Henry must have been the confidence for him to move forward, but also deliver the ball. Deliver it from anywhere for the players. Because modern day football dictates. And Mustafa came in at a time when that's where we're headed, where fullbacks are part of the attacks of the teams.
Yeah.
It's just not about defending. Now, when you look at all the others we have talked about, Mustafa easily ranks very, very highly in terms of the delivery of the ball. And like I said, it's easier to teach a defender, I think, for me, how to defend, but teaching them how to deliver the ball and going forward, I think for me is much harder.
Mustafa, you obviously tried to model your game around someone. Yeah. So you've had people you call your legends, people you've followed since you were young. The role of the left back has changed over the years. Yeah. We shall discuss that. Yeah. But who are those 2-3 players you said, listen, if I could play like this guy, like this guy, like this guy, I would become a better footballer?
To be honest, I always wanted to play like Joseph Ochaya. Right. Because growing up in the KCCA junior side, he was my idol and I looked up at him. Yeah, yeah. So I always wanted to play like him. But there are some other players like Godfrey Walusimbi, who was very strong defensively, and he could play easily with his size. So and probably I liked Marcelo. Yeah, he was top left back.
What is it about Ochaya though? Because I just want to know the specific attributes. I know there's the defensive work, then there's the offensive work. But was it how quickly he controls the ball? Was it his delivery of crosses? What is it you loved about Ochaya the most?
Probably mostly his style. Yeah. Style of play, because I think we have the same style of play, and his presence when he's in the pitch, he shows his presence that I'm Joseph Ochaya. So
just like the vibe.
Technically, I think I would say the best left back probably we've ever had. Technically, the best. And when I say technically, it does not necessarily mean Ochaya is the best left back, but technically, and that's what I think Mustafa Kizza is talking about. Mike loved Ochaya because of that, because of the things we do. I remember one time I was at a session of KCCA, and they played the ball over the top, and he would control it and bring it back with practically his backside of the shoulder. I don't know how he would do it, but he would comfortably do it. So if you talk technique in terms of being comfortable using the ball and stuff, forget about what comes after that. I'm not so sure there's any left back who can claim to have had the technique that Ochaya had. Now, the problem came with how well he defended and how much he delivered. And that's what you'll be judged on.
All right. You're not happy with yourself at the moment. Let's come to the current situation. Or am I getting it completely wrong? Because from where we sit, Mustafa, you've been up and down in terms of playing at various clubs. You don't love that, do you?
Yeah, no, I don't love it. For the past 3 years, I've faced a lot of challenges as a player. While I was still in Portugal, I signed with Aroca. But when I signed with Aroca, I was like a project of FC Porto. So it was like a deal. I go to Aroca, I play like 2 years. Right. After 2 years, because they had a left back there, he was called Zaidu. Then they were going to release him so that I could join the FC Porto. but injuries ruined the process.
Yeah.
Because I had to play in October. So before I started playing, I got injured. So the injury lasted for like 3 years. I did scans and what, they couldn't see anything, but I was feeling a lot of pain in my downer part of the abdominal.
Yeah.
So I couldn't run, I couldn't do anything. That's why I came back home. So coming back home, I had offers from different teams. Yanga wanted to sign me. I had Simba. So I had a lot of offers. So I decided to Vipers. I decided to stay where? KCC, because I thought maybe